What's good, everybody? This is your God Bless One. Thank you for watching another video of I Smoke Hip Hop. I'm in range of anger right now. I'm mad right now. Like, listen, the reason why U.S. soccer will never be good, because U.S. soccer represents the very foundation of the most racist, foulest people that represent this culture of American society. That's why. The reason why U.S. soccer will never be good, you have an established community and country of people that can never get past their own feelings and comforts. The reason why U.S. soccer will never be good, you have these elected official leaders of U.S. soccer that only like seeing guys that look like them, guys that come from backgrounds like them. The reason why you'll never see a good U.S. soccer is because of the supremacy mindset of a lot of these people, and it's true. I come from one of the most rich areas fuck this influence shit. I come from one of the most talent-rich areas of soccer players, which is South Florida. These neighborhoods, man, we have so many black and Hispanics that are so good, and they're American citizens. They're American citizens. They're so good at what they do. They never get the looks, not even in their schools, because guess what? The high school programs and certain selected schools don't have these help that they have. If you don't go to a rich private school, it don't matter how talented you are in this professional field of football that we call soccer in the United States, you'll never get a look. Because the truth is, if you're not a white boy with golden blonde hair, you don't have mommy and daddy paying over $5,000 a month for you to play soccer and get the training and all that, you're not going to make it. No matter if you're the next Pele, and no matter if you're better than these golden rich white boys. The truth is, they're selective on who they want to be on this team and represent this flag. Me just seeing that I've went overseas and I've been in 3 tours. I fought for this country. This is the most biased country you'll see in anything that's called fair. There is not. Just the players that they have, and if they do get a black player, it's never a player of real talent. It's another player who had another affluent situation where he gets help of monetary situations through a so-called white family or a sponsored family, I like to say. But why we can't just get talent that we see right here from an adolescent? He's one of the best in the field. Why we can't get that talent? Because he's too dark, and he might be Mexican, he might be black, he might be from another country. He makes certain white rich soccer moms uncomfortable. This is the truth about United States soccer. It's the fans who are uncomfortable of seeing certain darker faces in that audience stands. It's the coaches who don't know how to overcome their fears of, what if I get a player that don't like my coaching styles? He might be a little bit too ghetto for me. He might be a little too obnoxious for me. What about that? So what they do is they get these rich white boys and they put them on the team. Guys, wow, he's tall, he's good looking. It has nothing to do with soccer. They're trying to get their next Ronaldo, but not the next Ronaldo that can play the great soccer fashion. They want the next IG model. They want the next fashion models. These are the weak players they have. I'm 33 years old. I've never seen improvement in this soccer elite team you call United States soccer. There's never been a vast improvement. Never, guys. It's always been the same. Traditional rich white boys playing for this team, and you'll get a sprinkle of a few minorities here and there, but it's never real talent you get with this team. Now, some of you guys are going to say, don't they have the Florida residency program? They had that program for years now, and they never got real talent. My whole point when you set up a program like that is to get the young talented players of that country and build them and rise them up. But what they do is they get other affluent kids from rich areas and put them in that residency program as if them kids didn't even have mommy and daddy taking care of them already. What you should have used that Florida residency program for is for more poorest kids in an impoverished situation, and you bring them to your foundation that's known as the Florida Residency Program. And what you do is you don't bring 20 kids in this program and call it a real program like it's the special program. What you do is you get more funding for that program, Florida Residency Program, and you do it like the Brazilian Federation. You do it just like any other federation. And the reason I'm using the Brazilian Federation, in Brazil, you don't have to have $500 every goddamn weekend to have your kids playing soccer. You don't need no money at all. They make sure they take the top-notch talents and they fund them themselves, and they bring them to the fields. And even if you can't be in the Brazil's Federation program, you're still going through the ranks of the top-notch talents, and people of the citizens, they love this program and they watch it. So you don't even have to be part of a Florida residency program. Since like if you're coming in countries like Brazil, when you're poor, you will get noticed. That's the difference through this country. I have to be a white male and I have to be very rich and fluent. And if I'm not white, I still have to be a black male that lives in a suburb, a affluent area, sort of like this you guys see. Sort of like where I'm living currently right now. My son would have to come from one of these areas, have to be friends with so many such and such white people just to even get a look, just to even play. Even though he's better than half of, or if not more than the majority of the people that's there already. This is the truth that people don't like talking about. This is the dark side of United States soccer. This is the dark side, and it's not going to change. It's been like that for years, guys. It's been like that for years. Hang on, my camera's falling. This is not even a rant. People like calling certain things rant. To me, this is the hard truth that people have failed to talk about for years. This is what the pundits don't want you to know. This is what society don't want you to see, the real truth. Go look at every single United States roster. I tell you guys right now, there was a guy by the name of Julian Green. You're going to tell me what a black 18-year-old kid that scored the goal for United States. Listen, when he scored that goal in the World Cup, he didn't even have anything of the United States whatsoever embedded in him. Number one, he came from Germany because his dad was a military member and he has dual citizenship. Number two, this guy didn't know anything about the team whatsoever. Notice the reason why he went back to Germany. Because the truth is, we don't get any real talent. The real talent comes from the streets. The real talent comes from the people who know tomorrow they're not promised food. So this livelihood of soccer is their livelihood. Not some rich white boy who comes just to play because daddy got connections with such and such, mommy got connections with such and such, or the rich Hispanic kid who has connections with so many of white people, or this and that. Like, I'm not dumb. I know the minorities who do play for United States teams don't even represent the real minorities. They come from other affluent backgrounds. This is the sad truth. Or other black people they have that come from African countries and helped by certain white people who sponsor them. You never hear a real story of real talent. The closest we had was Jerzey, but he came from South Florida from also a rich, affluent area in a rich Haitian family. This is the truth. You guys never tried your hard to look for real talent. You just hired a federation president. They just hired a new president, Carlos, who admitted on national TV he didn't come into the game of soccer until 10 years ago. And you want to know the problem of U.S. soccer? It's with BS like that. 10 years ago, this guy got into the game of soccer. He admitted out his mouth himself. He was a banker before this. These are the guys you guys are hiring as your federation president. This is the key vital step of rebuilding and rebranding your whole entire organization. So you hire a man who's never been into soccer like that, whose background hasn't even been sports at all. This guy was a banker, and now this guy's projected as the savior of American soccer. Listen, I am banning myself and removing myself from ever watching anything to do with United States soccer. I know I'm 33 years old now, so probably the next time I'll probably take a look at United States soccer is when my son is older. He'll be like 21, 22 years old, so I'll be probably 53 years old or 54. This is the next time I will do any videos and talk about anything related to U.S. soccer. I've given my whole life to this program. Me and my twin, I remember growing up trying to play soccer and the play for plays. Remember, pay for play, I call it. Not play for play. Let's call it pay for play. We tried to play because we were real good growing up. Like, my dad is a diehard Haitian soccer fan. We tried to play. Guess what? If your parents don't make at least $100,000 a year annually, there's no way in hell you're going to be. And even if you do make that, you're not going to even afford the opportunity to even follow the traveling teams or any other team to get noticed. So that means if you have even a dream of being a soccer player, you throw it in the garbage right there because of the prices. That, like, I thought football was expensive enough, $300 to play tackle football. Now they're making me love tackle football even more now because the price of tackle football compared to U.S. soccer is pennies on the dollar, guys. It's the most sickening thing you've seen in the world. I've lived in Germany. The programs they have in Germany, majority of them are for free. You don't even have to pay to be on the team. Do you know the love these other countries have for soccer that we don't? I think God has done this to U.S. soccer because this white supremacy of a country we live in called United States of America, which I have a right. I was a United States soldier, Army. I am a veteran. I have more rights than anybody else to speak my opinion on this country and on this platform of soccer. I'm looking at all these pundits. Your pundits are even too white. That's the truth. There's no inclusion in U.S. soccer. If you're not a blonde-haired white boy coming from a rich family, you are not included in U.S. soccer. And it has been a point to show us that for the longest. Dating back to the first United States game I've seen live with my parents in 1993, it's never changed. It never will change. There has never been progress. Landon Donovan is another example, an fluent white boy who's glorified as he's our greatest player ever. Like, this guy never really was there during the main moments we needed him. I followed Landon Donovan's career his whole years. What about the other guys they didn't select who were better than Landon during the 17-year-old age group, the under 17-year-old age group? There was a lot of guys they didn't add. They choose Landon. And don't tell me about the Marcus Beasley, another affluent growing up black guy. There's so many black guys that are better than the Marcus Beasley during that time, but they didn't pick them. The truth is they look for black guys that make them comfortable. They like being comfortable amongst their peers and people who look and talk and act like them. For United States soccer, it's never been about talent. It's been about racial pride and ethics and comfortable and rich talk. That's why. You're too weak to handle soccer. Please get out of soccer. Please ban yourself, remove yourself from soccer. Stop telling me about the wonder kid called Christian Pulisic. He is not that good. The truth is, when you're garbage playing against garbage, you'll always look good. United States soccer is the biggest joke I've ever seen in my life. You hired a man to be the federation president who has never dedicated himself to U.S. soccer or any soccer until 10 years ago. These are his words. And this is why I should have hope for this foundation. Love your family, love your kids, and stay blessed. And stay far, 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 far away from U.S. soccer. And guys, MLS been a joke. When you guys stop letting teenagers grow in your program, I knew it was a failure.